Hello Logic language learners. So this is a video which is primarily a homework video for one of my really good students and a nice guy, a friend, and this is kind of covering some revision stuff for him. So Jamie, this is for you, but I thought this was a really good thing for everybody else. So this is a video. Please subscribe if you like the channel, please like the video, and please email me directly if you want any private tuition. But this is a video which is pretty much a guide to some good phrases we can take into exams, that we can get through conversations with, and that we pretty much need. So it's kind of based around phrasal verbs. So a phrasal verb is when we don't just have one verb meaning something, we have multiple words together which together have a specific meaning. Now we have so many in English. English is full of them. You know, if you think of French, it will tend to be one verb. So for example, to look at will be regarder, one verb. Listen to, you know, écouter. But even get on, get off, get along with. You know, these are phrasal verbs in English. And so these are verbs that in combination we use in French. Another way of thinking about it is these are combinations of words that will always go together. So whether it's two verbs that need to go together in a particular instance, or a verb and an object that need to go together which make an expression. So these are just things we need to learn together in groups rather than just learning individual words. So I've made a list, and these are the ones that I really think in no particular order you should learn. And please be aware that I will probably at some point do another video on all the great things you can do with avoir, or the great things you can do with être, but this is just a nice little top 10, if you will, of things that I really think are useful. So in no particular order, the first one and two are two expressions that use have, okay? Because in English we would say I need, and in French we have to say j'ai besoin de. So let's have a look at rule number one. So j'ai besoin de, or avoir besoin de, plus either a verb, plus either an object. So for example, I need a cake. J'ai besoin d'un gâteau. D''un, d'un gâteau. I need to speak. J'ai besoin de parler. I need to speak to him. J'ai besoin de lui parler. So there's not really a need. Any of you that speak Spanish and you know necesito, you know, there's not je nécessite in the same way in French. It's not what we'd say. Okay? So j'ai besoin de, so avoir besoin de. Now the great thing about all of these verbs with multiple tense, with multiple words coming together, is we need to be able to play around with them in different tenses. So if we've got avoir un besoin, the besoin's not going to change. That's just a normal verb. So just a normal word. So j'avais besoin de, you know, I needed. You know, j'aurai besoin de, I will need. Easy, we're changing the verb. Nous avons besoin de, on a besoin de. So it's basically to have, need of. Yeah? Remembering if you've got a word which starts with, a phrase which starts with a the. So for example, if you said, I need the boy to come and deliver my newspaper. So j'ai besoin de plus le, de plus le give me du. So j'ai besoin du garçon. So remember, whenever we have a de expression or an a expression, we need to be careful when we have the contractions. So that's number one. Okay? As per normal, the board rubber has decided to hide. I will find it. Where has the board rubber gone? And well, in the meantime, we can use this one. Good. Quick side note on j'ai besoin de. If you say the thing that I need, we are going to use the word dont, D-O-N-T. So can I ask you to search through the videos, and I will pop a link underneath. I had a really lovely mail this week from somebody saying, I love your videos, but can you provide the link when you mention other links? And I will do that, okay? So I will pop a note there. dans. And that will remind me to pop a dans video on. Good. So for example, if you said the thing that I need, you have to say the thing of which I have need. La chose dont j'ai besoin. So we will do that. So our next one, number 2, is a similar expression, which is avoir envie de, which is to want to do something, or again to want a thing, and this is completely synonymous with je veux. So I want to go out, je veux sortir. I want to go out, j'ai envie de sortir. Any of you that are Spanish speakers or Italian speakers, this would be the equivalent of tener ganas de, or, you know, ho voglia di fare, I want to do something. This is a common expression in other European languages. So, for example, if you say I don't want, non, je ne veux pas, je veux pas, non, j'ai pas envie, j'ai pas envie. You will hear this in French and France. So this is a common expression. I feel like I want to buy a bottle of wine. J'ai envie d'acheter une bouteille de vin. Common, yeah, je veux acheter, j'ai envie d'acheter. Pretty synonymous, meaning the same thing. Okay, so that was number 2. Lovely, our next expression will be, and again, by the way, if we were sticking this in other tenses, I wanted, remember when we talk about mental processes, they will more than often be in the was tense, so I wanted, j'avais envie de, yeah, A-V-A-I-S, the was tense. Next one is être d'accord avec. So you will hear je suis d'accord, or you'll hear d'accord everywhere, which in this case just means, okay, alright. Yeah, fine, agreed, d'accord. Hey, do you want to come round at 4 o'clock? Yeah, d'accord. But to agree with somebody, you don't say I am in agreement, you say I have an accord with somebody. Je suis d'accord avec quelqu'un. Okay? Je suis d'accord. So I agree with Luc. Je suis d'accord avec Luc. I agree with that. Je suis d'accord avec ça. I agree with what he said. Je suis d'accord avec ce que il a dit, ce qu'il a dit. Lovely. Je suis d'accord. Je suis bien d'accord. Je suis pas d'accord. I don't agree. Yeah? Non, 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 non. Je suis pas d'accord avec ça. I don't agree. I don't agree with this kind of thing. Je suis pas d'accord avec ce genre de choses. Okay? So, basic expression to agree. Okay? That was number 3. Number 4. Okay? And again, if we were there, if the verb is être d'accord, how would you say I agreed? It's a mental thing, so it needs to be was. I was in agreement. J'étais d'accord. Avec, if you had a person. Next one is to have just done something. So you can use the word juste in French, okay, but it's not the main method. So yes, I suppose you could say, ah, j'ai juste mangé, I've just eaten, but it's better to say, je viens de manger. I right now am coming from eating. So in French you'd say, in English you'd say, I have just eaten. And in English you say, right now, in the present tense, I am coming from eating. So, venir de. Yeah? So I've just spoken with you. Je viens de parler avec vous. Or je viens de vous parler. Je viens de te parler. My mom's just called me. Ma mère or ma maman vient de m'appeler. Somebody wants me. Vient de. Okay? So this would be a really important phrasal just to learn. Okay, now if you went in the past in this one, I had, so I remember yesterday morning I'd just finished a phone call when you would have to say I was coming from. So like most things, you will stick it in the was tense. So je venais de. And if you're not sure on how to put venir in the was tense, I will find you another video which is on how to do the imperfect. So I'll mark these up here. And I will put them underneath as promised. So, je venais de. So, I've just explained something. Je viens d'expliquer quelque chose. Yeah? And as with all of these de expressions, you can obviously do more complicated grammar. I've just seen them. Je viens de les voir. You can do whatever you want. I've just given it to him. Je viens de lui donner. Je viens de le lui donner. That sounds weird. you just would say je viens de lui donner la balle, le ballon, whenever I've given him. It is right, je viens de le lui donner, yeah. I've given him some would be more common. Je viens de lui en donner. Good. Next one. So what number are we up to? So 1, 2, that was 3, that was 4, so number 5. Okay. The verb entendre means to hear. Entendre. E-N-T-E-N-D-R-E. S'entendre bien avec someone is to get on well with. So I hear myself well, if you think about it like that. Okay? Although you're not thinking of hear when you say this in French. So I hear myself well, je m'entends bien avec lui. So I get on well with Luc, je m'entends bien avec Luc. They get on well with Luc, ils s'entendent bien avec Luc. So if you're not sure of why entendre becomes entend or entendre, then you need to listen to the soft and hard verb method, which is a method that everybody on this channel uses as a shortcut for conjugating verbs without visualizing them. So I shall put soft and hard as my list of things to have as videos underneath. You can put a panel within the video to take you to another video, but YouTube are changing that option, so I don't want to do that in case it then isn't available anymore. Okay, so for example, I get on well with Jamie. Je m'entends bien avec Jamie. Now, remember reflexive, which is people doing something to themselves, or reciprocal, which is two people, or more than two people, but plural, doing the same action to themselves. So, for example, we get washed is we, separately, get washed. We're both washing ourselves at the same time. So we get washed, then we go out. We wash each other is an altogether far more entertaining pursuit, which is we are literally soaping each other up. We are rubbing the soap on each other, we are getting washed. Okay, so that would be the same thing. So be careful with these verbs. So they get on well, ils s'entendent bien would be they get on well with each other. They get on well with him, ils s'entendent bien avec lui. Okay, so we need to be careful whether we're reflexive or reciprocal, but the verb will be the same. Okay, good. So we've had number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Now this is a common one and I really like cleaning this one up. Oh, what have I been doing? I've been showing them in the past. So I got on well with him. It wouldn't necessarily be an action. Yeah, je me suis bien entendu avec lui. Fine, it works. But je m'entendais bien avec lui. I was getting on well with him. Okay. So the next one that I really like is to be part of, which in French is faire partie de. So F-A-I-R-E, new word, P-A-R-T-I-E, new word de. Now a partie is basically, it can be a game of cards or it can be a game of like some sport, but partie basically means part. The word part, apart from Luc, apart Luc, apart from expressions like this, the word for part isn't really part, okay? You know, a part of something, un peu, un morceau, yeah, but generally a part, like which part of the body, quelle partie, okay? So to be part of in French is to make part of, like I make up part of. So I am part of the team, je fais partie de l'équipe. France is one of the countries which has voted yes for, you know, la France fait partie des pays. So this is a really important thing. Faisait partie de would be your was form, yeah? Would be your was form. Faire in the was is faisait, okay? And the imperfect video is already up there, but if you're not sure on why faire becomes faisait, have a look at the imperfect video, okay? Good. I am going to take a break and I will be back in a moment with part 2 and the rest of the 10.